So we're live, baby. We're now recording
Live?
live. Well, I mean, not live, but the cried out. Why did you not? Did you not
Doing
comb your
live.
hair?
I do not consent to being live. I consent to be recorded.
Yeah. So, it's time for another episode of Adventures in Loxos. We are short 2 players tonight, Dragons and Icy. But yeah, they had Scrotus Wienerkin. Anyways, they had
Jesus.
they had some family matters to take care of, so that's what they're taking care of.
But my bitch ass is back, so there's that.
But we got Tempest back.
Hell yeah.
We got Cassid back for this episode, so there we go. We got 2 more players back. We went from 3 to 4. 3 to 4. And of course, Android
My electricity wasn't still off.
and MindDoc have returned yet again for another session. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, because last session we only had 3 players. We had Android, MindDoc, and Dragons.
I forgot you cross right up.
Yeah, and then we were short Cassid, Icy, and Tempest. But now we've got Cassid and Tempest back. So
You're welcome.
what?
My gift to you. Happy like Christmas.
So anyways,
Septic rings.
let's get into the introductions then, shall we? Starting from the top, this week we have Agaragis. Our Mayan. What are these things called? I just forgot what they're called. Mycetid Pion Mender. And a Mycetid is basically a little mushroom folk. Think halfling, only humanoid mushroom. That's basically what they are. About 4 foot tall. Pion Mender. They are the sub-race called an androgenine, because in our campaign, Mycetid aren't born with a gender. They're born like regular plants, just completely asexual. No male or female. Any you couldn't classify it as one or the other. And then as Mycetid get older, they just develop one or the other. It's just whatever their biology does. They just end up developing one. Reproductive parts. But sometimes Mycetid do not develop, and they become what is known as an androgenine. And for whatever reason, androgenine develop special abilities, like Agaragis, who is a part of the Pion Mender androgenine. And that is basically all homebrewed for this campaign. A Pion Mender Mycetid is basically like a little buff machine. They can do some significant damage, but they're no good like up close. Like, they'll basically get stomped into the ground if they try to go toe to toe with something. But they're good at buffing everybody else around them and keeping them going long enough to keep they themselves alive. So that is our Agaragis, the Mycetid Pion Mender. And I think I'm going to just do the recap of what Agaragis was doing right now. Like, I think that's how I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to do a recap briefly on what that character is doing, and then we'll go. Agaragis is currently on the continent of Pangshun, trying to stop these little goblinoid creatures known as Bajong from getting too close to this place called the Golden Lotus Monastery, full of these monks, who typically the monks don't involve themselves in current affairs going on, but if something is threatening their personal space, they do then involve themselves. And because these Bajong are getting too close to the Golden Monastery, they've sent Agaragis and their newfound friend Fojua, who is a monk there. He's a dragoon monk, which dragoon are like dragonborn, only slightly different, and they're related to different dragons. So Agargus and Fojua have been sent out to quell this little Bajong outbreak, I guess you could say. And that's Agargus.
Hey yo.
And there was much rejoicing. Yay! Then we have returning, finally, Tempest Inferno.
Oh shit, I gotta go.
He will be playing. He will be playing our halfling cleric / favorite soul / champion of Obot High, Otis Hirokin. And Otis is the exception to the rule of a halfling. The exception to the rule doesn't make it the rule. And Otis is definitely that exception. I think Otis has probably been through too much in life to stay as carefree as your typical halfling. And he's the only halfling I've ever seen being played that actually has an anger management issue.
No, everyone else is the problem.
Yeah. Otis, because he had his body and soul split from one another, with his soul sitting in Mount Celestia and his body sitting in the Nine Hells. When they finally came back together, they've had this like schism issue going on. Think of it as like a foreign body inside the human body. You know, the cells attack it. The soul and the body are rejecting one another because one is technically kind of been overly purified while the other one's overly been tainted, you could say. And that is causing him some memory issues. And so Otis is currently on the continent of Siren, in the nation of High Forest, trying to regain some of his memories from his childhood, because he grew up there in the capital city of the nation of High Forest, at the capital city of Highgarden. Excuse me. He's been trying to pick up the pieces of his mind, you could say. And so he's re-meeting a lot of people that he used to know that he's having a hard time remembering and things. And he's actually been summoned by a hermit that lives in the forest of High Forest, who claims that Otis is his arch nemesis. The hermit goes by the name of Willow McButtonwillows. And he says that Otis is his arch nemesis, but he wants to speak with Otis because he's got information about a plague that Otis helped stop originally, but then it did break out for a little while, but because of Otis's research and one Duncan Pengrass, they were able to stop it. But according to Willow McButtonwillows, it's not actually gone. It's just lying dormant, and it's going to resurface. And he wants to speak with Otis about this for some weird reason. He'll only speak with Otis about this. Otis is his arch nemesis. He is being accompanied by one. Let's get this guy's name right again, because I already forgot it. His name is like Tub Lanky or something. I gave him some ridiculous name. Yeah, Tub Lanky, another halfling. He's a halfling druid. And when him and Otis were growing up, Tub was kind of a bully to Otis. And yet, here Otis is being sort of escorted by Tub to meet with this Willow McButtonwillows. So, let's see what kind of hijinks ensue from that. I don't know. But there's Otis Hirokin, everybody. And there was much rejoicing. Yay!
Hooray. So happy to be here. Yahoo.
Okay. Then we have Mindoc playing Mindoc, our high elf wizard, who because of past things. We can't entirely talk about what his first run with the group was all about because that is coming into play as we play. But last session, if you check out last session, it was mentioned by Solar to Android that the last time MindDoc was in the group, he tried to kill everybody. So I'll freely drop that information right now. So MindDoc's return naturally has everybody kind of on edge because MindDoc, he can be a bit of a schemer, maybe a plotter. He's got a thirst for knowledge. he's got an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, maybe even to his own detriment sometimes. And what MindDoc is up to right now, he is on the continent of we got like 3 continents going right now. He's 3 continents going. He's on the continent of Alahazar, also known as the Great Desert. He's in the city of Sphinx, at the Library of Sphinx. He's been talking. Okay, now I'm definitely gonna have to look that up. He's been talking with one Hakim Afahazim El Ibn Hafizal about the plane of chaos. MindDoc is interested in finding the plane of chaos and traveling to it. Hakim doesn't seem to know a whole lot about it. He's given MindDoc some information about the planes, but he's gone to refer MindDoc to one of the other archivists, one Onye Alacozo, about this, because he seems to think that Hakim seems to think that Onye might know a little bit more than he does. So that's kind of where MindDoc really is. He's just doing a lot of research. And oh boy, I think when all that comes to fruition, it's just going to go full tilt. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening there. And that is MindDoc, our high elf wizard. And then last, but certainly not least, we have...
Bringing education to the humans.
Yeah, last session, it's like... I'm like, they don't look like savage or barbaric. I was like, you don't see another elf, and you're like, oh, this isn't civilization. You're like, they're not civilized. But yeah, last but certainly not least, we have Android, who will be playing Lord Android Farizon, our half wood elf, half human bard / paladin, which our paladin comes from the 3.5 D&D book Unearthed Arcana, because we play 3.5 / Saint of Corlon Larethian. And Android, newly becoming a lord, he's learning diplomacy and bureaucracy and all of that. But currently he's handling business. He's on his way to go see House Volt, who they hail from the country of Beargrave on the continent of Siren. And House Volt seems to have some kind of dealings with House Farizon. What those dealings are, who knows? That's what they're going to find out. But, excuse me, I just take a... But also, Android is also readying himself mentally for the Lords and Ladies Gala tonight. For the Lords of the city, the capital city of Whitesword, in the nation of Whitesword, on the continent of Siren. So, lots of continents, lots of countries, lots of nations. Oh, also, Solar cried last session. Solar cried last session. He cried because he realized that here's the funny thing about that, though, like something that I don't think was really like anybody really caught on to. Solar didn't cry because he felt sorry for you, Quill. He cried because you, Quill, made him realize just how crappy of a country he comes from, like how subjugated those people are there. And Solar realized that there are decent people.
Just weak for the land in general.
Yeah, like decent people, not you, Quill, but decent people who aren't womanizing drunks. There that are being subjugated, and he said so as much. He's like, oh man, there are people there who aren't alcoholic womanizers that don't deserve this. And so Solar began to weep for the land, exactly, for the land, not so much you, Quill. Oh no, he's just like, oh, you did that to yourself. But but he you know, that's just Solar's, like, you know, personality. But yeah, and that Solar being Android's celestial eagle companion. Familiar, dare I say. And that's Android Farizon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And here I am, your humble DM, Lord Pog of Lord Pog Gaming. And yeah, been running this campaign for 9 years. There's my status update. Actually, 10 years now, everybody. We are in our 10-year run. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yep, 10 years. 10 years, and I don't see an end in sight just yet. So, y'all better buckle up.
I ain't seen anything say New Year, New Me yet. I'm scared.
Yeah, y'all better buckle up, because it only gets I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I have nothing else. All right. Now that we've got that all out of the way, let's roll that beautiful intro. Doodle, 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 doodle.
Gotta love that intro part.
Have I missed it?
No.
Why does it sound like Star Trek?
Because you want
Right.
to get sued? Stop that.
Don't say their name.
It's Godzilla. No, because of copyright, that can't be Godzilla, but it definitely looks like him. All right, so starting from the top, I guess we'll start with Otis tonight. And start with what Otis is doing. So,
I'm excited to see what's going on with Otis.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Otis, you're currently in a headlock getting noogies from Tub. Now, so after speaking with one Lima Pennickel, who was like your childhood teacher, you know, she's a halfling, so she doesn't necessarily look ancient, right? But I mean, she's got like the gray hair and stuff to, I guess, denote age, if you want to like really look at it like that. But yeah, you were currently talking with her, and she was suggesting that Tub go with you to escort you to see one Willow McButton Willows, is really what it was. And I think we left off, and I might be wrong, you know, I might be accidentally creating a a mistake within our narrative, but I'm almost positive that Otis was kind of undecided on that issue. He was not entirely excited about taking Tub with him, nor was Tub that excited about going with you, mind you, you know. But Lima seemed to be like not adamant, but she was encouraging the idea.
Let me the punk bitch and just go.
Yeah, kind of basically. Well, you know, so okay, that's where we'll pick up. That's really where we'll pick up. You and her are having kind of a debate about this, and here comes my best elderly halfling woman voice, but she's just like, Otis, why don't you? No, she's like, just
Nice.
she's like, sound like,
No, I want that voice.
Otis, he is your father. No,
Yeah.
she's just like, Otis, but she's like, things have changed in the forest since you've been gone. It has become wildly dangerous, and you need the help. And Tub, for all his faults, is the best druid we have. Tub's over there like, darn right.
Just kind of turns up his nose and like, I think,
He says what?
Otis kind of turns up his nose
Mm-hmm.
and just says, "Well, he's gotta."
Says, well, I think it would be best if he did. I'm not doing this to cause you any grief. Let me be clear.
Oh no, I know you're not, but I don't mean he won't.
Says, what's that supposed to mean, Scrotus?
You're smart enough, you'll figure it out.
Says, well, I think it'll be good for both of you. I think a lot can be learned. And sometimes necessity makes for strange bedfellows.
Nah.
Says, and besides, we don't really know what this Willow McButton Willows has in store. He may prove to actually be setting a trap for you, and you could use all the backup you can get.
Yeah, you're right. I suppose we should get going then.
That Tub just says, yeah, let's get going then. If I've got to keep you alive because you're the golden boy and everything.
Otis doesn't say anything.
Says, do you know where you're going?
No clue.
Says, well, we're headed to the High Vein. And you are familiar with the High Vein, but because of your memory issues, do you have a knowledge of... I will accept a knowledge of history or geography if you've got one.
Well, let's take a look-see. History or what?
Geography.
History it is.
History it is. Wow, my dude.
I don't know jack shit.
It's our first natural one of the night. Get him out. Get him out while you got him, I guess. So, the name...
It's so good to be back.
The name sounds familiar. You know what's funny is we went a couple of sessions without anybody rolling a 1, and then the second you get back, that's your first roll.
I mean, someone's got to roll the 1s. If not them, then who? I'll take the torch.
Otis, he's our man.
If he can't roll them, then everybody is gonna. But the name the High Vein sounds familiar, like it rings a bell, but you're struggling to recall the history of it. You know, the more you think about it, it's just, you know, you can't seem to focus in your mind. You know, you've got too much friction there right now. Your body and soul don't want to come together to recall the memory. Tub taking stock of your visible confusion and anguish of trying to recall the name, just kind of chuckles and goes, you don't even remember the High Vein, do you? This is gonna be... This is gonna be great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I got an amnesiac helping me. You do remember how to cast your spells, right?
No, it looks like you'll have to do all of that too.
As well, wouldn't be my first rodeo. He like cracks his neck. He's like, let's go, Scrotus. Let's get this done. I'd like to be...
Wait, carry me. I forgot how to walk.
He goes, I'll drag you if you'd like.
I was joking.
Yeah. He goes, yeah. I wasn't. And with that, he like turns around and begins to head into the forest. He says, it's this way. And try to be quiet. There's all kinds of manner of foul beast in these forests now. And even worse. Go ahead and roll a stealth or a move silent for me, Otis. I'm gonna have Tub.
You know damn good and well that this is going to be bad.
You know darn well. So, Tub is moving like a feather on the wind. You know? Meanwhile, you got Otis, who's just kind of clanking along. Every now and then you can hear like sticks getting crunched underfoot. Just snap, snap, At one point in time, they're like kind of moving down a hill, and Otis just kind of tumbles and slides, making all kinds of noise with the leaves and everything. Just and so much so Tub has to like hold out a hand and just stop him from sliding all the way down the hill, and then just looks at you, Otis, with like a side eye. It's like, you're gonna.
Otis just kind of shrugs and like gives an eye saying, "Sorry, I'm trying."
Oh. And he just kind of, he looks over and down. You guys are, at this point, you've been traveling for, we'll say, about 30 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. And through the forest, when you came to this hill, and Tubbs stopped short in a bush and then stopped you. And then he motions down into not so much a valley, but, you know, just a little outcropping down the hill a little ways. And he motions down there. He says, "You see that? Go ahead and roll me a spot, Otis." This is the most rolls we've had in a minute. And you are doing fantastic right now. Another one. So you
I feel like you're doing this on purpose.
I'm not. I'm really not.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You're
Not this. No.
Look, you're just in a particularly dangerous area where a lot of rolls need to be made. So I don't know what to I don't know what to say. But if it feels like I'm picking on you, no. I'm not picking on you per se. Although I am picking on them rolls, because good grief. He like motions down there, but you don't really see anything. You're just kind of like, you know. But yeah, you don't really see anything as you're straining to look.
Otis kind of looks in the direction, just kind of looks at him, just kind of like shakes his head of his like, what are we looking at?
He goes, "In the trees." He goes, don't look at the trees. He says, "Look at the ground. See where it's all eaten away down there? You got all that lush, you got all this forest, and yet you've got one grouping of bushes and things that are just dead for no reason."
Do I see it this time, or do I need to make another spot check?
I'm gonna say you see what he's mentioning. You can roll another spot check to see if you can see deeper. Ooh, now that's something. So now that you're kind of more intuitive into what you're looking for, you get to like really paying attention, and you realize that it looks as if this this small group of bushes in this forest in a particularly thick portion of it that are dead are sitting in what looks like ooze of some sort. You realize that it looks like they're sitting in a small puddle of like greenish mucus or something.
All right.
Tug looks at you and says, "You see it now?"
Otis nods.
Says, "Yeah. There's a cult, demon cult, called the Hunger. That's one of their calling cards. They... I don't know if they do it on purpose or they just can't help themselves, but they eventually kill these things as they kill the forest life as they move through here. they're I don't know, subject to some demon from the abyss. He goes, we got that going on, they're nearby. We need to be extra quiet. Because we're still a ways off from the high vein. And I don't know if this friend of yours, this Willow McButton Willows, can protect us, but he's sitting at an old, dilapidated watch post. So, if nothing else, we can at least hide out there. That's if your friend here isn't actually trying to kill you, and by proxy, me, I guess.
He ain't my friend.
He just looks at you and he says, "No kidding." Says, "Come on, let's go this way." So he starts to take you. He's gonna skirt around that area completely. He's not gonna go completely down the hill. He's gonna kind of strafe the side of the hill you guys are on and kind of skirt that area as much as he possibly can. Go ahead and roll another move silently.
You hit me.
Oh no, you're doing all right now. Wow, that's 2 in a row. So yeah, knowing this, you just kind of. Well, I'll tell you what. You explain to me, because you definitely, now knowing the kind of danger you were in, you're definitely moving more silently now. How does Otis choose to go about that? Like, what's his technique for moving silently now that he knows he's under actual duress?
This man is looking at the ground with intense, making sure he don't step on no sticks or anything that would make any noise, moving slowly enough, but like also quickly enough to keep up with Tubbs, but slowly enough to where his armor isn't making any noise. So he's just like completely focused.
So Tubbs gonna take notice of how intensely you're moving, and he's without you even noticing it, he's just gonna nod in approval, like, okay, he gets it now. And you guys are gonna continue on your journey. Agaragis, you actually were kind of fast forward a little bit, a day ahead of everybody else, because you spent the night in your pocket dimension, your little alchemy hut with Fojua.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you guys just remember you, Crow, and Fojua slept in there, and you were talking to Crow, and Fojua couldn't hear Crow, so he was just thinking that, oh man, he taught you the stunning fist, and he realized, and he came to think to himself, did I teach a lunatic the stunning fist? You know, like, this person's over here
schizo on his hands.
talking to themselves. Yeah, he was like, oh no, Master Zupo was right. I am a maniac. You know? But yeah,
That was like, oh my goodness, I'm messing this up. Legend of Cain, when you drink the potions noise. I heard that.
Yeah, that gulp was very audible.
Yeah, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I was trying not to be, but I got so parched so quickly. I will do I will just turn my whole back to the mic from here on out if I need another drink.
That was the sound of the potion being drank.
Please help me, sir.
There
So,
you go.
yeah.
You go up and just
I remember when you did that and just like take a little clip of that little gulp and use it for every time someone takes a potion.
Yeah, I might actually. That's a good idea.
I'm down.
That's a good idea. My bad. So, Agargus, Crow, and Fojua, you guys, other than that little encounter, you all pretty much slept through the night. Was there anything Agargus wanted to do to prepare while in their shop, while in their little pocket dimension? Excuse me.
I probably am supposed to know this, but do you know if all of my potions are refilled?
I don't. I have no idea. You're like, I'm supposed to know this. I'm probably supposed to know this, but no, I sure don't. I know you used a potion to summon a monster because that's when you summoned that's when you accidentally summoned Cassius, Otis's Celestial Griffin, and Solar. But beyond that, I have no idea. I don't even know what potions you have. If I'm being... Oh, you used a potion on the Dark Maw, a paralyzed potion on the Dark Maw in the Underworld too. When the Dark Maw had you and Quill in its tentacles and were bringing you guys towards its face to eat you, you dropped a potion down its mouth and paralyzed it. So I know you used those two potions for sure. It might be on your character sheet. If you were going to write potions on your character sheet, where would you put them? Just out of curiosity.
You're asking the wrong person.
It's your character sheet. I think I'm asking the right person.
That's the problem. No.
I feel like I'm asking the right person.
I'm gonna put it in the wrong place. I know it. We're looking right now.
You're yeah, I was looking at your sheet too. Your spore pool, by the way, should be completely replenished.
But
yeah, because you got total 300. Your spore points at one point were 210. You should be completely replenished back to 300.
While you look for a second, is there anything like shiny in the hut?
Well, there's a lot of like beakers and like think when you think of an archaic alchemy set, with the bottles and the candles and the little swirly curly cube tubes and all that stuff, all the bubbling and things. You'd see a lot of that. There is a chest sitting over there in the corner that's just sitting there. It looks like your archetypical like clothing chest, if you will. And just that kind of stuff, just typical stuff you'd expect to see in an alchemy lab. So yeah, there's some shiny business. You can roll a search if you want to see if you can find something particularly interesting.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So Crow's gonna start going through your stuff.
Yep, Crow's just blatantly going through your stuff. No, they're sort of hopping around like looking at things. They're not like actively displacing anything. Yeah.
Fozua's just over there in the corner sleeping, looking kind of tense. Like, it is not a deep sleep. He looks like he could wake up at the drop of a hat, if need be. Because he don't know. Let's see here.
Oh, okay. It's just I'm sorry.
Equipment, maybe? Nope, nothing written in items.
Was this a search? Sorry.
Yes, it would be a search.
All right. 30. 32. Dear God.
Wow. Not bad. Not bad at all. You go searching around, Crow, and you happen to notice and perhaps this is something that not even a Garrigus has noticed before, but there is.
Yeah, I don't know what's in there.
You just happen to go searching around and you don't notice anything shiny, but you do notice a strange amount of like wind, like air actually blowing through one of the back walls. And you realize that it's a false wall. Hey, Garius, I don't know where you wrote that
You're not gonna
stuff
look back.
down. Huh? Do what?
Okay. No, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't know where they wrote this stuff down, so we might just have to start all over again, and we're just gonna say that you're out of potions, and that you've got to, because
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But in the
Me
future,
neither.
I would suggest going to like equipment, your equipments tab, and where it says equipment, writing it down like maybe an other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like right there at the bottom, right there where it says other, and just keeping your equipment there, like special stuff there.
Okay.
Ugh, yeah. But I think you're capable of making 5 potions, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yes. Yep.
I want to keep this being a character's show, so I'm just gonna say Crow takes note of that.
That
Thank you.
there's a false wall in their place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make 5 potions, Agargus. Yeah, but there is air coming out. It's like there's a crack almost at the bottom where the seam of the wall should meet the floor and be completely tight. There's a crack as if there's a door there, and you can feel like air kind of blowing through it.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Because I hadn't intended for that bit of information to be dropped for a while. But here we are.
Thanks. Thank you. You did more than I did.
But is Garrigus aware?
I'm gonna say that's up for Crow. That's up to Crow to figure out. I'm gonna. Well, I mean, not to ruin it or anything, but no, Agargus is not aware of that. Agargus thinks this is a pocket dimension that's just a dimension. A little, a little breadcrumb in the ether. You know what I mean?
And nothing else.
And nothing else. Which,
Yeah, I'm just
Crow,
not mention it yet, but I'm sure.
you can roll a knowledge of the planes to kind of, as Crow, if you'd like, because Crow's, he hangs out with a wizard, for crying out loud. He is a wizard's familiar. He might have some knowledge of of these different things, the arcane, the planes, things like that, just to see if maybe some of this makes some sense to him or not. He may not even
Sure.
he may not even realize the significance of what he just found. is what I'm pointing out.
Plot twist. It's actually just a room in Mindox Manor.
Oh, that would be funny. I wish I had thought of that.
That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Imagine. Alright. So, wait, how do you do the fucking... Hang on. I need to manually do this. Give me a second.
The Macarena?
Okay. What? Okay, whatever. Okay. 19.
Okay. So, Crow, you get to thinking about this for a minute. And you're like, okay, I've seen some of the books that Mind Docs looked at, and yada yada yada. You get to think about it. You don't have this like huge epiphany, like you're not like some studied wizard or anything, but it does occur to you that if this was a pocket dimension, like I said, just a breadcrumb in the ether, as it were, it should be completely self-contained. So either this pocket dimension stretches on even further back, or it's attached to something, perhaps? Maybe it's not as pocketed as believed. But, you know, with all that said and done, like, you can't really put the two and two together entirely, concisely. You are, after all, just a crow. You know?
Interesting. I want to say, I think to justify a certain rule there is about familiars, I was going to add the flavor that I think Crow, like, kind of draws... They kind of, like, draw knowledge from Mendoc's mind to some extent. Like, they kind of, like, search their... Sort of like with the telepathic link, they kind of just, like, when they're thinking about something, they can just kind of draw a bit of knowledge from Mendoc, because one of the fucking things with familiars is just, they basically just use their master's,
knowledge
skills.
too. Yeah.
As long as it's something they can rationally do. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, now can he can't telepathically talk with Mind Doc right now, can he?
I don't.
Or are they too far away
so, no.
from one another to be able to really?
I think they have to be on the same plane.
Oh well, I mean they are on the same. Oh well, no.
Okay. Well. Yeah.
Well.
Well.
Hmm.
No. I'm actually gonna double check that.
It's funny. It's funny you should mention that. If they have to be on the same plane,
Does it work?
if they have to be on the same plane and they can telepathically talk with one another, I will let you send a message to Mindoc right now to to kind of pick his brain about this.
Actually, apparently they have to be within 1 mile of each other.
Well,
and I'm pretty sure we're further than that.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. Actually, you're right next door. You're in his mansion. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But based upon like the fact that you can draw upon Minddoc's knowledge and stuff, still, that's basically what you're coming up with. You know what I mean? Something about this is just off for a pocket dimension.
How strange. I'm just gonna land on McGurkus's head like nothing happened.
Well, that's weird. Gonna go sleep now. But Agargus, you were wanting to make potions then? Is that what you're wanting to do?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you looking to make?
Can I make revive potions?
You do have let's see here. You do have the Alchemist's Cookbook. That is a like when you say revive, what do you mean by revive? Be a little bit more specific. Like a heal potion, a bring back from the dead potion. What?
Bring back from the dead potion.
You're wanting to make a wondrous potion. There is information for that in there, right? You go flipping through and you find a particularly saucy little potion that they call Palor's Tears.
Oh.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Tell me
Is
more.
this the part where Android chimes in and is all salty about how he had some of those and freaking Lucchese, I think, dumped it out or like dropped it and kicked it in front of me?
It was
like, oh, I'm a bitch.
I believe it was Jeremiah Don who did that.
Was it? I thought it was Lucchese. Either way, what a bitch.
Yeah.
I still had some good uses out of that, but I still had like 3 uses out of that potion. It was dumb. It was dumber than hell. I was pissed off. He took that away from me just because he knew I was saving it for some good times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
Not salty at all or anything.
At the time it was given to you, it was only you and Tyrone playing. You had only 2 people in the group, and I had to give you at least some kind of advantage. By the time it was taken away from you, I mean, you had at least you had a cleric.
A disadvantage?
You had a whole ass cleric on your team who should be able to give you health and keep you alive. So, yeah. And the threat of death has
He
to
was
be
with us the last time that I used it.
Yeah, I know.
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he's the one that used it on me.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Indeed.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I digressed. Lord Dumping.
Yeah, Lord Dumping.
Continue.
Sir Cheese. So, Agaricus, this is a wondrous potion, not easily made. It does require some, stuff to make. You do have that chest over there, so, do you remember how you remember how your items chest works? It says stick your hand in with intent and then withdraw.
I'm glad you remember.
I do remember. Because I also remember when you stuck your hand in there with like just some crazy intent and it slapped your hand away like it's not what this is for.
Yeah.
So yeah. But it is your components chest. So we're gonna say that to make Palor's Tears, it will require spotless water, the essence of purity, and the holiest of light. I would write that down.
Okay, hold on. That's a lot of words.
In fact, from here on out, when I tell you the components you need for a potion,
Hold up.
you will want to write it down.
Okay.
Because I will only tell you once. Because I
Don't
myself
do it.
don't she says, don't do it. What am I gonna do?
All right.
Exactly. She says, don't do it. I don't know what it is I'm doing. Yeah, so I would write like in your notes or something, or perhaps in the miscellaneous under or something. I don't know. Somewhere on your deal, or even in your alchemist's cookbook handout, I could let me see something here.
Notes.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in my notes.
In player's journal, I'm gonna put it, well, just in case, I'm gonna put in the handout, can be edited by you. And so, and at the bottom there, when you can edit it now, all you have to do is open up the handout, hit the edit button, and it'll take you all the way to the bottom, and you can actually write notes on the handout now. Okay? So that might be easy too. That might be easier too. I don't know. But you can edit that now. So, you ready? The potion Palor's Tears requires.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. The potion of Palor's Tears requires spotless water, the essence of purity, and the holiest of light. Did you get it?
Did it used to be blessing?
No. The spotless water, the essence of purity, the holiest of light. No, that's right. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. I see what you wrote. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, knowing all that, right? You read that, and there is a warning there at the bottom that says this particular potion, has to be done correctly. There is no, the ingredients required for something such as this is not the easiest things to come by. And so you only get one chance at it. Should you fail, it will at least require a undisclosed amount of time to track down more ingredients for such a thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Huh. All right. So, I suppose you're going to go over to your chest and reach in there and get the stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, like how a kid reaches into like a toy chest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like just kind of opens up the lid and kind of hikes themselves up and just kind of reaches down in there, almost falling head first in there.
His tongue sticking out.
So, the first thing you get is the holiest of light. You feel this strange clawed hand you something that when you touch it, once it goes into your hand, it feels as if it enters your body or wants to enter your body. You feel almost at peace with yourself. And when you pull it out, you see that encased in this gem, like not an emerald, but basically just a clear gem, almost like a diamond, but not really shaped like one, more shaped like a ruby. but clear. Inside of it is just the smallest speck of light that you can see. It almost looks as if it's a flaw with inside this gem. And yet, that one little speck of light, as you hold it in your hand and stare into it, fills you with a strange inner peace. A peace beyond understanding. You don't even know why you're at peace. There's no reason. It's not like you know that the water bill is paid and so you can sleep easy at night. It's just you're full of this inner peace.
Nah, he knows the revive bill is paid.
Yeah. Yeah, the revive bill for those clerics that come by once a month and cure the dead. But
Bring out your dead.
I'm getting better. But you're holding but you hold it and you ponder it for a moment, and before taking the gem and setting it on the table, and then putting your hand in once more. The second thing you get is the essence of purity. And it's the weirdest thing, but there's nothing really magical to it. When you touch it, you don't feel, this strange. You pull out a child's drawing. Yeah, it's done in like, yeah. Toi? What? Are you speaking French? It's
what does that say, Anaya?
It's a but it's a drawing. It's done in this like black chalk on parchment, and it's your typical kid's drawing, stick figures, real blocky houses and stuff, but it's got a picture of a sun with little squiggly lines coming off of it, some slashes for grass, little overly large flowers with what looks like a little blocky hut with a lady with a triangular body to represent that she's wearing a dress with the hair and the little kid, and they're waving bye-bye to what looks like has to be like the man, he's wearing like a little funny little helmet, it's supposed to be a helmet because it's got a feather coming out of it. And they're just waving, and it says Mom, Dad, me, and Roof for the dog. And the picture's just, that's what it is. It's just a picture.
Can Agaricus pin it on his wall?
Yeah.
Or should I take that with me? I don't know. Now I'm confused.
It's the essence of purity. You stuck your hand in there to get the essence of purity, and you got that picture in return.
Alright, well, I don't want to put it on my wall. I mean, unless, I don't know. I'm thinking too hard about this. Do I get to keep it and use it as a potion if it's on the wall?
It's an ingredient for a potion. So you're gonna have to do with that what you will.
Alright.
If you want to try and keep the picture, you're gonna have to come up with something clever on how you can use this for the potion making without destroying the picture. I don't know, what to tell you. It's just the ingredient for the essence of purity is what it is. Yeah. That's a rough one, isn't it? So you stick your hand in there one last time for the spotless water. Android, I need you to roll me.
No. Okay.
Am I being a thief?
Not.
Yeah,
Just,
that's okay. That's metagaming, so it's okay.
he goes,
No.
no.
I knew something dastardly like this was gonna happen. Okay, it's okay. What do I need to roll?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna say, boy, what are your stats again? Just roll me a wisdom.
Flat wisdom, pure wisdom.
A pure wisdom.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Blow on it.
Hey, this is a family friendly show, sir.
You know what I mean. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, I really need this. Oh, frick me to death. I'm fricked, boys. No, this could not be worse.
So we're not going to talk about what you're doing.
I have rerolls, don't I?
We're not,
not for me, not right now.
So we're not going to talk about exactly what you're in the middle of doing right now because the time frame we haven't really gotten there yet. But you feel a strange...
So can we go back to the idea of not using the potion components? You know?
Yeah. You feel a strange, like, not for making potions, for doing magic. There is the meta magic feat, or there is the feat eschew materials, which means that you can cast magic without having to have the components on you. You know, and then 90% of the time, what I do is I just, if you don't take that feat, I give you a components pouch, and instead of going through every last component, blah blah blah, I just say you have a components pouch, 10 uses, and then every time you cast a spell, you know what I mean, you take a use away from the components pouch. So it's a balancing act, because you may have more uses in your spells than you do components, but if you run out of components, so you have to constantly, like, because I just start you off at 10 uses, but you can always up them. You can be like, well, I want to buy enough components for like 20 uses or 30 uses or something, you know. There is a cap, but you know, but most of the time when people are playing magic users, I suggest them taking that feat just so we can avoid this. But to be fair, because I don't want to make that feat just completely useless either. But for potions, no. You always have to have components to make potions, so this is where we're at. We're not going to talk about what you're in the middle of doing right now because of the time difference and because you really haven't gotten to this point within your story. But at some point,
can I have a reroll just cause?
At some point in the night, I will let you roll a bardic. Let you roll a bardic knowledge.
Really?
Because, well, here's the thing: you feel like a strangeness occur on your body, and
I feel a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, and you don't really know why. I will let you roll a bardic knowledge to discern where that came from. Kind of like you're deducing what the issue may be. Okay. It's
pretty good.
It's your bag of holding. Something's wrong with your bag of holding, and you don't know why.
So, being as it's not necessarily Since it's like a day in the future and it's not really my turn,
It's not a day in the future. They haven't moved ahead yet. This is night times. They're still camping out inside the pocket. We just haven't
so this
gotten
would be
to
at like the Met Gala.
basically, yeah, or something. We don't know, right? Because we haven't gotten there yet. You may not have made it there yet, or you may be in the middle of something else.
Would it be too much for me to be like, I start going through my bag of holding for the most important items to see if they're there? Just call it to my hand, drop it back in, just go through the motions and make sure I have all of my favorite toys.
Let's put a pin in it.
I figured that might be a bit much right now.
Well, let's put a pin in it, because when this happens, you may be in a position where you can do that, right? We don't know. We haven't gotten that far in the story, but you also maybe at this point in the story, just depending on where it takes you, you may be at a point where you're like, I can't really afford to let everybody know I got something like this on me right now. You know what I mean? So it's something. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to just wait and get you there, okay? But you are aware that something's wrong with your bag of holding, and we will.
This is terrible.
Yeah, at this point in time, during your story, in my head canon, I'll know when to let you know during your section.
Okay.
When this is gonna become a prevalent issue.
Fair enough. This is a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
As for you, Agargus, you feel the clawed hand you something in your hand that feels kind of orbish. And when you pull it out, you have in your hand not a perfectly round spherical ball of water. It's not large. It's just a small, like, we're going to say maybe baseball-sized ball of water in your hand. It feels wet, but it's not soaking you. It somehow is managing to remain self-contained. As you are holding this ball of water.
Okay. Do I just, like... He's so worried about bursting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so... Where is he gonna set it? That's...
Wherever you want. You're allowed to play as much D&D as you like. You tell me, where is he gonna set it? You tell me. How does Agargus want to handle this?
It's the most stressful thing I've had to deal with. He wants to sit it on a plant, but then he's worried the plant is going to absorb it, so he's like, Can you just set it on the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gingerly set it on the table, and it seems to hold its shape. It seems to just sit there and rest perfectly on the table. But because it is a sphere, it rolls off and hits the ground and splashes. No. It just sits there.
Oh no.
Why? It just sits there. Perfectly cylinder. This perfect, not cylinder, spherical shape, just sitting there resting on the table, just flowing as if it's in a container out of itself, but never breaking the shape. And now you have the the holiest of light, the essence of purity, and the spotless water. You want to try making that potion. You will need to roll a... See, you're going to need to roll your alchemy. And it is a wondrous creation, so it is a wondrous potion. So you're gonna have to roll kind of high to get it.
Artisan's tools?
Yeah, you basically do. Yeah, you have your alchemy set, so you could put
Normal or masterwork?
They are normal.
Ayo.
Ooh.
Ah!
She goes, oh!
I say it like that. I was proud of myself.
Well, I mean, it's a good roll. If it had been a master potion, you'd have gotten it. But it is...
That's your fault. I'm blaming.
So you, you put all the pieces together, you drop it in there, and you begin, and it starts bubbling through and everything. And, the potion begins to fill one of your bottles full of this golden liquid as you're watching it, and you're all happy, and you watch as the golden liquid begins to become brighter and brighter till eventually it's not gold anymore, it's a white, and then the white begins to pulsate and glow. And I'm going to need you to roll me a reflex to see if you can dodge out of the way of the explosion that is about to happen. Go ahead and roll a reflex. Crow, go ahead and roll me a reflex.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because you are chilling on Agaragus's head right now, are you not? Oh, that would be incredible if Mindoc was the one that fell asleep tonight.
Aw.
Mindoc has left the building.
Mindoc, are you there?
Oh shit, I'm here. I kinda spaced out. What's going on?
I need you to roll a reflex. Because Agaragus failed on their potion. And you are chilling on Agaragus's head, right?
Yeah, Crow's.
Yeah.
Alright, reflex.
My fault.
What is Crow's reflex? Yeah, I can't believe you would do this to Crow. Okay, sir. 1, 2, 3. Wait, that can't be right. That's like very low. No, that's not that low. Never mind. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Oh, 24.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, yeah. I just don't want to accidentally kill your animal.
I love her optimism.
I mean,
yeah.
Crow's fault for being there.
So, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and then all of a sudden it just starts whistling. It's like, Wee! And then, that's enough, Crow, to wake you up. And you're just like, uh-oh, I've seen this before. And you just fly off and get into one of the rafters. And Agaragus, you're like, oh, how pretty. And then it starts to blow up and you're like, oh, and you duck down underneath the table as, boom, and it explodes all over the place. causing Fojua to just wake up like, what? Jumping up, like, punching the air, just like he's attacking invisible assailants. He's like, what's going on? What happened? And that potion is no good. And it's going to be...
What was that?
Do what, Crow? I'm sorry.
What was that? Are you just like screeching from the rafters?
Yeah. Boju was like, what's going on?
Agaricus is just wiping his face, he's got like soot on him, and he's just like, he's not saying anything, he's just blinking.
Bojuro walks over and goes, What happened? What is all this? Oh, by the way, it's going to be about a day before that bottle recharges itself and is usable again, Agaricus.
What about my other 4?
Oh, those still good. You didn't blow them up.
Alright, I'm gonna use another one just the same way.
You're gonna try and make those tears again?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the chest does not have that for you. The only thing it does produce for you is another sphere of spotless water.
I'll take it, but how convenient.
Android, you feel, again, something odd is just happening with your bag.
This is terrible. There is nothing that could be worse, but that tells me something very vital.
What the fuck?
Right?
I could die right now. I could die right now and it'd be okay.
No!
Which is funny because we are going to jump to Android right now.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So, Agaricus, you are left to ponder. What other potions do you want to make? What other potions do you want to make, real quick? At
least the healing.
Uh-huh.
Is there like a is there a potion to make the attack higher or something for all of the party? Does that work?
Not with a potion, but you could do that with a singular person. It's basically just...
No, hear me out. What if she were to throw it and it breaks and it splashes on everybody?
Yeah.
It has to be digested.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Not by skin.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it has to be digested. It is a potion, not a poultice.
I'd rather have smash it against somebody. Open wide. Don't eat the glass.
So there is a potion for attack +1. There is a potion for healing. What kind of healing? Like lesser, greater?
Greater.
Greater? Okay. And so you got 4 bottles, right? So healing, greater, you wanna make like 2 and 2, or do you want to do like all 4 different, or what?
All different.
Okay. Do you know what all you want to make, or do you want to just wait?
I'm gonna wait.
Okay, go ahead and just roll me an alchemy for those 2 potions. Those are... that one is simple and one is greater. So if you get high enough, I'll give them both to you. If not, one, The attack +1 is a simple potion, actually, because it's only attack +1.
Want to fall?
Okay, yeah. You get them both. And
Okay.
then I'll let you contemplate on the other 2 potions you want to make. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
And we'll expedite that a little bit. You know, we don't have to go into such craziness with every single potion you make, but you were trying to make like a pretty serious potion just now, so that we were going into something with, because you were trying.
Won't be my last time.
Yeah, you were trying to create something that raises the dead.
That's all right. It's a big deal.
As you sort of finish up, Kirk flutters back down into your head. Next time, can you warn me, baby?
He looks up at him, pats him on the head, and he goes, "I'll try to remember."
Was meant to be safer with you.
He giggles and he's like, I thought I was safe.
Oh, Zua's
Not
like,
as bad as mine, dog.
Zua's like sitting back down in the corner again, just watching you, Agaragis. Only now he's discerning that you are talking to the crow, but he's like, she's talking to it's talking to the animal, like the animal talks, like the animal can talk, but it's just a bird. And it's having a full-on conversation with it as if it's talking back. It's exploding magic, and it's... And then he just puts his head back down, like keeping one eye open now. It's like, oh Lord Cass, God of strength in combat, let me see the morning.
And Agaricus, like, he feels a little watched. I think he normally doesn't have anybody other than Crow, you know, like, which he just deems as, like, not a lesser being, but, like, not as, like, intimidating as, like, the other party members. So he doesn't seem him, you know, like, as threatening. So he's like, okay, everyone's chill. And he's like, but this guy in here, he's like, I'm getting a weird vibe.
That's hilarious. Agaragis, he's giving Agaragis the weird vibe. All right, so moving on to
Unbelievable.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it?
Incredible.
Moving on to Andrew right now. Andrew, you guys arrive at House Volt in the capital city of Whitesword. You guys have, you know, you've been having just chit chat with Sebastian and Solar. Sebastian's been pouting a little bit because he didn't get to be in on the conversation with you, Quill, and he's just like, did you fill Sebastian in on any of that conversation? Did you kind of let him know what was happening, or were you just kind of like, oh, it wasn't anything important type of attitude?
Which conversation?
The conversation you had with you, Quill, about the Kaiut Seke.
Oh, I guess I'd fill him because he's right there, you know. And Android hates to, you know, it's like lore that Android hates to make Sebastian feel like he's not there. You know,
right? Yeah.
So he just turns and he starts explaining, you know. Gives him the Cliff Notes version. It's not like Uquill-esque where it's thing with the thing, but he's just kind of like, you know, briefly explaining Uquill has got a crisis. It was a moral conundrum for him, and, you know, I guess I, of all people, am his moral compass, and I'm not always the best for that, as established with elf women and whatnot, and so I had to ask Solar.
Sebastian listens to it all for a minute, and then he just kind of chuckles and he goes, well, I don't see what the issue was to begin with. He's like, why didn't he just purify the infant, and then instead of worrying about tracking it down, they know the thing likes to come back and hunt in the town. Just wait until nighttime and then just trap him.
My thoughts exactly, Sebastian.
He'll come to them. Why are they trying to take him on his territory? He just chuckles.
Beyond me.
He's like, that's what I would have done. I would have just made a trap.
Do I need to roll a deception?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yes.
Android's
Yes,
like,
you
no, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, of course. I mean, duh. Who wouldn't have done that? Yeah. Oh, roll a bluff, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's bluff. I was like, what am I looking for?
Uh, 27. Sebastian just smiles and nods and goes, well, of course, my lord. Of course you would have. And then gets like a half grin. And he says, oh, well, we're here. And he opens up the door quickly for you.
He knows.
And like holds it open for you. He's like, he like hollers out loudly to the guards of House Volt. He says, I now present to you Lord Android Farisen of House Farisen. Now, these Volt guards aren't like typical guards you would see in White Sword. They, oddly enough, they wear heavy furs, even on the hot days, you know, which today is unseasonably cool. It is cool. Like, you have noticed that the weather is just getting colder and colder as time goes by. Like, it's just the seasons are just going crazy right now. We've established that before. You know what's happening. But these guys dress strange, even for White Sword. They dress in furs and leathers, and they have wooden shields and battle axes and stuff. They look more barbarian than they do say more like your typical high fantasy knight, for instance, or guard, you know. And they approach you and they say, what business do you have here?
He says, my name is Android. I have some merchandising deals here.
Oh, you do you? Well, stay right here. We'll go get Lord Yasimer. If you truly do have business here, he'll know. And one of them walks off to go and get this Lord Yasimer, as they say, as they called him, as they called him. While the one is gone, Sebastian just looks at you again, Andrew, and says, "You really don't remember what business you have with the Volts?"
He says, not really. I hate that, but I didn't write it down, and it's been enough time and enough has happened to me, you know.
Says, oh,
Kind of hard to cram it all into one head.
okay, well, I'm just asking because they look like pretty serious customers, and while the Dragoon of Nanzi's Farms seem to already be expecting you, these guys don't seem to be aware of who you are at all. So that's why I'm asking, but okay.
Can you remind me of any details that you know about it?
He says, well, you did tell me about your adventures. Let's see. I am actually going to have to roll something for him to see if he, if, you know, just because you told him about everything you'd done when you were gone, that's for sure. So he would probably have something. Let's see. Yes, Sebastian is very knowledgeable, so he'll have. He rolled a fat 17. So, and that's not even a good roll for what he you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's
The
not
DC
disgusting. It's not disgusting.
The DC I gave him,
You
he should have rolled.
remember all the details, but give me something. Give me something.
He's thinking.
Give a dog a bone.
He goes, okay. He's like thinking. He goes, okay. You did. These guys are from Beargrave.
Mm-hmm.
You did go to Beargrave. You spoke with their king.
That's right, Brutus.
Brutus Bearclaw, right? And
I just can't remember if it was for services or goods.
you killed a guy for him. Do you remember why you were killing the guy? Like what the deal was with the deal you made? You made a deal with him. I just can't
remember the deal. It was just because he was going through the what is it? The Hill Giant place.
He's gonna spend a luck. He's gonna spend a luck, and he's going at it again. Okay, better. He turns around and he goes, "Oh, that's right, freaking the Draken Magus,
Right?
the Sunder Barbarian, freaking." And he doesn't say freaking. He goes,
He goes freaking.
He goes, freaking mother fripper, mother scratcher. He says, our sovereign, Owens, King Owens, or our sovereign Owens, he wanted this Draken Magus dead. You agreed to go and do that. You ran into Brutus Bearclaw. Brutus Bearclaw wanted them dead. You made a deal that if you brought...
That was like so convenient.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, strange. It's almost like a narrative device that, you know, some mystical device. Yeah, correct. Some mystical force put together just to tie everything together in a neat bow. What a genius. Anyway.
Almost like fate.
Yeah. He says, oh, that fate. He's as smart as he is handsome. Anyway, he says,
fate to death.
Yeah.
And he's got the bond to match.
Yeah, don't he though? He says, yeah, you cut a deal with them. If you brought Draken Magus their head, they would sell you their freaking Graven Ale.
Oh, cool.
That's what we're here for. And he thinks about it and he goes, Says, no, you gave it to them.
Oh.
Remember you told me they piked it on their wall.
Cool.
Says, yeah, feeling good. And he like spins around. He like spins around looking all pleased with himself like, yes, I am worth my pay. And then like,
thanks, Sebastian, you're awesome.
Straightens himself up and brushes the dirt off his shoulders. He's like, yes. And about this time, approaching you guys is a very large gentleman. Like Uquill kind of large, you know, not like half orc kind of large, but like Uquill kind of large, you know. Tall, muscular human male. He's got blonde hair that he keeps dreaded, and he's got this big old blonde beard and mustache. He's wearing like a leather vest with fur shoulder pads and a buckle that's got a bear's emblem on it. He's just, I mean, dude probably has like 2% body fat as he approaches you all. And he says to you, Android, he says, I am Lord Yasamir Rogband of House Volt. I am the... says, well, what do you call it? I speak for House Volt. I handle their day-to-day operations. I am their war chief. Sebastian says, you mean a liaison? And Yasimir looks at him and says, I said war chief. And he looks at you, Android, and he says, you're Android for Risen?
Android says, that is correct. And he kind of folds his hands behind his back and straightens up, you know, a little bit, squares off against him, not in a threatening manner, just in a confident posture. And he's like, we delivered the head of Draken Magus to Brutus Bearclaw, and we are coming seeking an opportunity to merchandise your ale for our manor.
Says, yes. We told you. We've got the 30 barrels as promised. Says the free 30 barrels. And then after those free 30 barrels, if you like the product, you know, it's only 100 gold a barrel after that. Discount. Says which you will... says which, if you're selling the barrels as you should, you'll have that. And with that...
Android kind of nods, and he's kind of like, that sounds like a reasonable rate, I think. Don't you think, Sebastian?
Sebastian...
The numbers add up, I think.
He goes, 100 gold a barrel? And that's supposed to be a discount? Says, if I may, my lord. And he steps forward and he whispers in your ear, he says, I don't recall in your story them ever saying we'd have to pay for another barrel again, my lord. And then he steps back and gets behind you again. He just gets back and then dusts the dirt off his shoulders once more. Rogband just looks at you and says, is there a problem?
Android kind of raises an eyebrow for a moment. He says, on second thought, I don't know that in the terms of the agreement it was as stated that I'd ever have to pay for a barrel again. And if so, any proceeds should go to Brutus Bearclaw himself, should they not?
With that, Yasimir just kind of straightens up. He stands up a little bit more upright, which makes him like look as if he grew just like another full inch. Says, well, I wasn't there when the original terms were agreed upon. I'm just giving you word of what I was supposed to tell you. You can take it or leave it. But we are a people of our word, so you will get your 30 free barrels, regardless. But beyond that, I don't really care what you do. If you don't want our ale, then you don't have to have it.
He kind of thinks on this, and he says, "We'll take the 30 free barrels, and from then on, we'll discuss the terms of our deal. We'll negotiate on that further. Does that sound agreeable?"
Says, fine by me. Says, do with it what you like. With that, he just turns and snaps his fingers at some of the men, and he's like, load up the 30 free barrels and ship it over to that house for Risen. He turns and looks at you one last time, and he says, huh. And then just goes back into his hall. Now, their guild house, or their manor, their house, as it were, because they're a house, they're not a guild, right? Looks different than your typical manors would. You know what I mean? It looks more like just a large wooden structure with a straw roofing and decorative shields hanging out on, you know, to decorate the outside of it with decorations of what looks like sea serpents or a sea dragon of some sort, you know, to deck the pitches as the roofs come to pitches and stuff. It's very ornate, but it doesn't look large and as illustrious as, say, yours does. In a weird sort of way, it looks like it's only got like a few rooms, and the largest portion of this manor is dedicated to perhaps the front hall. He says that as he enters, and Sebastian steps forward again and goes, "Do you want me to send word to this Brutus Bearclaw, my lord, about your encounter here today and how strange this all seems?"
He says, "Elaborate."
He says, "Well, when you told me about your dealings with this Brutus Bearclaw, and in fact, it was more with his queen, Deborah, if I remember correctly, Deborah Attila. She's the one that actually made the deal with you, if I got the story correctly."
That's right. I do remember that.
He says, there was no mention that you were going to have to pay anything beyond that. In fact, the very fact that House Volt has chosen to become a house within, something very strange has taken place here. It's not like Nancy Farms, who just came here and became a guild under your banner. It would be almost as if they came here and decided to become a house as well and become direct competition.
Interesting. Well, if you think it's worth inquiring about with the Bearclaws, then send word, I guess. Yeah, that sounds good.
Says, well, I mean, normally I wouldn't. I would just let it go unless you wanted me to. But if I may speak freely with you right now, my lord, he pissed me off. So yeah. So if they're doing something without telling their superiors, I'd like to know.
Fair enough.
And if that requires immediate action on our part, well, then so be it.
He just crosses his arms and nods, and he says, "Smoke him out."
Says, "Will do. I'll send Lulu. She's quite swift and just adorable."
Yes, precious. Indeed.
Is there any? He says, and before we go, I'm going to take your garments and have them specially prepared for you. He says, we'll make a special stop at the herbs and what is that place called now? Herbs and Spices, KFC. We'll go to KFC.
Cool for clothes.
yeah. He says,
Clothes with the K.
He says,
Clothes fighting chance.
we'll go to the Oasis High Wind Spices, Herbs and Silks. Says they know their business there. They'll be able to tailor it precisely. And you all head there. So on the ride there, what is Android's initial thoughts about his dealings so far today? He's met with Jared Steele, Dargus Wave Smasher. He's met with Nancy Farms Firewine and spoken with Mr. Blossom. And now he's just met House Volt for the first time. And this Yasimer Rogband. What is Android's initial thinking on all of this so far?
So there's a level of it to him that's like familiar from having gone so many different places and spoken with so many different like high official people. So there's a level of it that kind of comes naturally to him in just the level of dealings with people. However, he is still like struggling with the general idea of like etiquette, right? In his own mind, he's like, why do I have to like play this game the way that Sebastian wants me to? But at the same time, he's also beginning to see kind of the purpose of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But he's also just kind of like, but we're the inglorious few. You know, there's the half of him, the hemisphere that's like inglorious few versus the hemisphere that's like Frisian Manor, if that makes sense. And it's not like they're clashing exactly, like he's not at war with himself about it exactly. He's just kind of like struggling with how to consolidate that, I guess. How do I adapt my experience with what is going on now?
Okay. All right. So you contemplate this as you come to a stop at the Oasis High Wind Spices, Herbs and Silks Guild, and out the door steps a gentleman. He is a dark-skinned gentleman. Obviously originally not from the continent of Siren. He's clearly he's a foreigner. He wears these fine purple silks. He's got like one of those handlebar, like a thick handlebar mustache and a goatee and these really sharp eyebrows, like that come up to fine points. And his shirt is completely unbuttoned, exposing his chest and belly, which he has decorated in like a floral tattoo, like a tattoo floral pattern. He's got the most jolliest but slyest, I guess you could say, of grins on his face as he as he approaches you. as you guys are getting out of the carriage, he comes up to you and he says, "Oh, welcome, welcome, friends. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Hafar Hadid, and this is the Oasis Highwind Spices, Herbs, and Silks." He says, he like looks you over for a minute, and I'm actually going to have him roll something real quick.
Bet.
So he looks you over and he goes, "You are a noble, no? What house are you from?" He failed his roll, so he's not quickly able to tell, like, spot your house, like your emblem. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he can look you up and down and tell that you are definitely a noble.
I'm gonna say Andric kind of bows to him and he says, "We are from the Blooming House Prison."
Says, "Oh, House for Risen." He says, "We have not had you here yet. Welcome, welcome. It is an honor. Definitely an honor." And he holds out his arms from side to side and bows to you. But you, Android, especially because you have been practicing your bowing so much, you know what I mean? You see that this type of bowing is much more relaxed from his culture, you know? It's not as ceremonial, you know? It is extremely more relaxed, with a lot more flourish behind it, and yet it is oddly elegant, even so. He says, "Welcome, welcome." He says, "It is a pleasure to have somebody, the Lord of House for Risen, visiting my humble shop for the first time." Says, "You have yet to meet with my brother, no?"
Correct. Yep. That's our business.
Says, "Yes, Dalsim will be upset that I got to meet you first. But I will send him word and let him know that finally the Lord of House for Risen has ventured forth to grace us with his presence." Says, "And what can I do for you? Are you perhaps looking for some rare spices or herbs all the way from the great sands of the great desert kingdom?"
He says, "No, not in particular."
With that, Sebastian steps forward and hands out hands him a little package of clothing, you know? And he says, "My lord would like these tailored to look more fancy." With that,
Andric's like, give him an adventurous look, you know? Something tasteful, but maybe some buckles. Make it look cool.
Hafar opens up the package just enough, you know, undoes the bow and opens up the package just enough to kind of see inside of it without just completely unfolding all the clothes and just, you know, but he just kind of looks it over and he goes, well, my lord has good tastes. Yes, I will make you look as splendid as the water lily sits on the oasis during the noonday sun, when the winds blow through the palms and the sun glisses off the water. So shall you be the single lily."
I think Andric just kind of shifts his weight uncomfortably. He's like, thank you.
With that, Sebastian's just like, "That actually sounds really lovely, really. Huh, what a pleasant place you come from." And Hafar says, "Indeed." Says, "How much is that going to cost?" And I'm playing D&D with myself again. The
Show us how to do it.
Far says, 200 gold, my lords. He looks at you, Android. He says, up front, of course.
And Android just kind of turns to Sebastian and nods, like, well, pay the man, type deal.
Sebastian opens up a pouch and drops 200 gold into Hafar's hand, and he says, splendid. Says, I will make you look like the glorious eagle as he shines in the noonday sun, wings spread out, and you just hear Solar just kind of scoff in your ear silently, like, Pwah. Says, that's how I will make you look, my lord. And he takes it and he says, anything else I can interest you in while you are here?
And he says, well, what else do you offer?
Says, again, we have the finest of silks and fabrics, spices and herbs, all the way from the continent of Alihazar, straight from the Silver Lake City itself, or even Oasis.
Android kind of scratches his cheek for a second. He's like, you say spices, like cooking spices?
He says some. He says we got spices for all sorts of things. Spices, fragrances, smells. He says here, and he holds up a bottle. It's just this tiny little tincture. You know what I mean? It's a little crystal tincture. And he pulls out a little bit, like it just uncorks the top, and it's just got, it's not even like an eyedropper. It comes to it almost looks like a spike on the inside of that, as he uncorks it, but it's not, it doesn't come to a point. It comes to like a round teardrop shape, and it's got just like a little droplet, and he puts it on your finger and he says, smell that, my lord.
Think Android kind of, looks at it a little reluctantly and, rubs it in between his finger and his thumb and then kind of sniffs at it a little bit.
It is.
And kind of.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You finish. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and he kind of tries to hide a grimace, that he's like, ugh, what is this?
It does have kind of a musky smell. It is basically like cologne is what it is. It is up to you on whether or not you like the smell of it. But it is a musky cologne is basically what it smells like. And Hafar tells you, he goes, we call that the silk unraveler. For when the women smell it, their silks cannot help but unravel themselves from their bare bodies.
At that, Android finds some difficulty hiding a grimace in some regard. Well, is that really what I want? That's better for you, Quill, I think. He's like, I think I'm okay. Just grab me an assortment of your cooking spices. I have an idea. And he kind of turns to Sebastian and he's like, we should look into some of these traditional cooking recipes and see what we can't pick up from the lands of Alihazar for you, Quill, when he's around the manor. He might prefer some traditional cooking from his homelands, don't you think?
He says, "Oh,
and it'll give us some variety in our menu."
With
he kind of raises an eyebrow.
with that, Hefar just kind of chimes in. He says, I don't mean to be overhearing your conversation, my lord, but your friend, he is from Alihazar? He's from the Great Desert?
He says, that's right? Yeah,
No.
Alcazar. I'm not sure. No, he's not from Alihazar. Where is he from?
That doesn't matter. That's too meta. We're going to play this one out now. He says, oh, what city is he from in Alihazar? Or in the Great Desert. They call it the Great Desert. They don't just refer to it as the... I want you to think of Alihazar as the continent, but the Great Desert is what the kingdom is actually known as, is because all of the continent is under one kingdom.
Oh, no, he's from Borkamina, ain't he?
That's too late now. We're gonna play that.
No,
out.
that's okay. I'm just checking.
You can remember it as we go. You can remember it as we go, but like for right now, he's just like, what city is he from? From the Great Desert.
Android's gonna be like, I don't really know that much about it. I was just trying to be considerate. I'm not an expert, and as I think about it, I only know about it kind of second-handedly, and you know.
Says he's not a, and he kind of looks at you suspiciously, and he goes, "He's not a rock Sasha, is he?"
Says no, he's a human.
You can roll a sense motive though about that rock Sasha comment if you want.
Bet I'm gonna. I can't tell nothing.
Seemed very like an odd question, and the word rock Sasha does like seem to ring a bell to you, but you don't know why that would make his demeanor kind of shift so strangely, but it's nothing incredibly off-putting. He says, oh, he's human.
Well, I can remember
good.
that Ek was a Rakshasa, right?
Yeah, Ek was a rock Sasha, yes. And Ek did come from the Great Desert.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll let you just recall all that since you can remember that. Ek was going on and on all the time about how his people were enslaved and yada, 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 and how technically he had run from captivity and things like that. So what you're basically experiencing is perhaps a little bit of bigotism when he asks that. You know what I mean? But there's something else to it too that you just can't put your finger on.
Yeah. And Android's going to be like, and as I'm thinking about it now, perhaps it was just that my buddy had to cross through the Great Desert to get here.
Says, oh, well, we do have dealings with the other continents as well as Pengshun, Vorkamina, and Drazulu. So we get our herbs and spices from, and silks, and different fabrics from all over. He goes, perhaps I'd just give you a little bit of a variety of the different things, and you can take it home and see what you like and don't like, and come back.
He says, perfect.
Says, oh, wonderful. And he like vanishes for a little bit. While he's gone, like you just take note of the guards that they have there too. These guys are different looking as well. They wear like these black turbans that are scarfed around their necks, and their armor is like polished, almost like polished silver. It looks silver, but it's steel, with masks that cover their faces completely. It's all very like foreign aesthetic to you. Again, it's not your typical high fantasy, what you're used to seeing, like more European, if I may put real world terms into it. But
Mhm.
and yet there is something slightly familiar about it, just because of how far east the Great Desert is as well. So you are somewhat used to seeing an Eastern style aesthetic, but these guys seem to go slightly in a different direction than say those people that you saw on the continent of Pangshun, for instance. And
Interesting.
they stand around motionless. I mean, you want to talk about people who stand there and do not move. I mean, you as you're watching them, you think you catch one of them blink, but you're not even sure if you even see that. Like,
So at this time, too, while he's kind of gone and searching in the back room,
mhm.
Android's gonna kind of, because he said that I was going to, or that his brother wanted to meet with me also, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm gonna go do next. I kind of agreed to go do that. So, Android.
That's all the way in White Fox, by the way. Just so
Oh, it is.
yeah.
Ah,
This is one of the guilds. Yeah, the guilds are all their main offices are located in White Fox, which I'm not talking you out of it. I'm just letting you know.
so
the
how
trip you
far
have.
away is that? Is that going to interfere with the gala thing I gotta go do?
Well, let's see here. Let me pull up a map real quick, and I can tell you exactly how far that will. Well, I'm gonna have to go this route with it, just to look at it. Let me pull that up. Boop, boop, boop. Well, where are you? Oh, there you are. Nations. So you're in White Sword, and White Fox is 11. Okay, 50, 100. Oh, my gosh. That's about 550 miles away, give or take.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even that far, not really, right? But it is
That'll
it is a
definitely
ways.
interfere with the gala.
Yeah, I mean that's basically with a carriage and everything too. I mean, 550. You take in the fact that you're going by carriage, going faster. It's probably about a day.
I mean, I would think at least a day and a half.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. About a day and a half's ride.
I mean, I'm no expert, but that's what it sounds like.
It's about a day and a half's ride, because you'll get to a crossing, and you'll have and I'll just tell you, you'll get to a crossing and you'll have Red Fox, which is another city that'll be close by, right? And most people like to stop at Red Fox and stay the night and then move on to White Sword the next day, which, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's about a day and a half's ride right away.
Okay, so Android's gonna lean over to Sebastian and be like, work into the schedule somewhere to go meet this guy's brother over in White Fox, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over in White Fox. Seems like they like he's wanting to, at least, and it'd be better to meet some of the merchants of the nation, I think.
Okay. Sebastian's notes. To see. Okay, there you go. Sebastian writes it down and saves it. I just created me a handout to keep in line with all that, so I, as the DM, don't forget.
Thanks, Sebastian.
Pretty soon, pretty soon, Hafar returns with like a couple of sacks of stuff, you know, like it's not even like a couple of sacks. What it is it's bricks of spices, tiny little bricks, not like the biggest things, you know what I'm saying? Not as small as ice cubes, but we're not talking like a pound, you know what I mean? All wrapped in paper and then stringed together, kind of like what Sebastian did with your clothing, you know? And then wrapped up in bows, and it's like 2 bushels basically, or 2 bundles, and he hands them over to Sebastian and he says, that'll be 150 gold, my lord.
Very good.
Sebastian shifts and pulls out 150 gold and hands them to Hafar.
Yeah, but Sebastian didn't like that.
Yeah. Hafar is like, thank you so much for coming to our humble abode, my lord. Please return anytime you like, and I will have those clothes done for you before the Lord and Ladies Gala tonight. And he claps his hands together.
Android kind of, bows to him again in appreciation, and he's like, thank you.
He says, anytime. With that, you guys get in the carriage and begin to take off, and Sebastian says, when we get back, I'll send a courier to find out about this bear grave, and I'll send somebody to fetch your clothes for tonight.
And Android's going to say, be sure to reimburse yourself.
For
the gold that was spent. I don't know if that was out of your personal pocket that you were spending this gold, but if it was, then reimburse yourself.
Says, oh, my lord, no. I always keep a, what would you call, a fund set aside for when you want to go out and gallivant around town. That is just the spending money. That is not my own personal money. I pay myself a modest sum for my businesses and practices, and no worries. I do appreciate that, though.
Very good, then. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't dipping into your pockets now,
Says, oh no, my lord. They're your pockets to dip into.
Well, thank you, Sebastian.
He says, yeah, well, I mean, that's not my, it's not my place to question it.
In any case, we're up.
Yes. And you all make your way back to Farizon Manor. We pick up with Mindoc now. And Mindoc, you've been studying the chart, correct?
Yes. And I think, I suppose while I was waiting for the other one.
Onye, I believe is his name. Off the top of my head. I believe his name is
Onye.
Onye. Yes, Onye. Yes, so let's bring that chart up for you so we can look at it. Again, it is just a chart. It is basically just circles upon circles upon circles, right? It's very rudimentary. There's nothing extremely fancy per se about it. It's basically just a simple man's guide to the realms, or at least the realms as far as a simple man's guide to the realms as far as, you know, they understand it. You know? So they are numbered with 1 being the center, you know, and that is what they call the material plane. So 1 is the material plane. Now 2, as you can see on the chart, is, and you can feel free to write this down, but I do actually have this written down somewhere. So, you know what I mean? This is something that I actually have kept track of, personally. But two is the Shadowfell, as you can, 2 is the Shadowfell, as you can see. And that is the dark circle that seems to be encroaching on circle 1. So as you can see, circle 1, 2, and 3 all look like they're sharing the same space, with circle 2 being the Shadowfell and circle 3 being the Feywild. These 2 realms you are familiar with. How familiar? You will need to roll a knowledge of the planes, but you are familiar enough about it. Let's do them one at a time. Let's do, because the Feywild will be an easier roll than Shadowfell for sure.
Shit, this is actually a good time to mention something. No, it's fine. I'm typing something to you while we do this. But yeah, I follow.
I didn't.
So you want me to roll for both of?
Yeah, roll for the Shadowfell.
Sorry, I'm rolling 2.
Yeah, you're rolling
Just
2 separate ones. Yeah.
Cool. First and second.
Okay, so you got both really good. So so we're gonna say that with the Feywild, well, with the Shadowfell, you are familiar with the Shadowfell. You know that it is like one of those that, yes, the material plane seems to have 2 planes of existence that share up its space with it. They're almost kind of like mirror planes, if you will. You know? With the Shadowfell being a best example I can think of is, imagine that you're standing in a room, you're familiar with the room, the furniture, the decorations on the wall, all of that. But then when you turn off the lights, it's like you cannot see what's in that room. You know that it should be there. But everything takes on like a more sinister shape or connotation in the darkness. And that is what the Shadowfell is. It is the material plane with the lights turned off. Everything has a more sinister shape, connotation, the things there. It is also known as the gloom realm because for whatever reason, to be there seems to fill people with an angst, a depression, an anxiety, a sadness. It is a dark and depressed place. The Feywild,
Right.
also shares but now imagine stepping into a room. You're familiar with everything in there as said before, but now imagine that all the lights turn bright and then multicolored. And everything becomes more fun. Suddenly music is playing, there's people there, and there's a party. That is the Feywild. It is the same sort of thing, only everything there is more whimsical and lighthearted. And you also know that this too is dangerous, but in a different way than, say, like, while the Shadowfell seems to seem to swallow you in a swamp of sadness, for instance, the Feywild will fill you full of so much whimsy that people have been known to drop dead just because they forget to eat or sleep or anything like that, because they're just full of so much wonder and fantastical sights to be held. They're too busy taking everything in to do what it requires to live.
Right.
And while they're mirrors of the material plane, you also know that things change there too. Where a mountain range might be in the material plane, that might not exist in, say, the Feywild or the Shadowfell. Where you may find a forest in the Feywild, you may not find that same forest in the material plane. But they do share the same spaces. And another crazy thing about these two particular planes is you can accidentally enter them without realizing it. On the material plane,
Right.
the two easiest planes of existence to travel to from the material plane are the Shadowfell and the Feywild, just because you can accidentally find yourself in them.
Mushroom circles.
Yes. Now, moving on to plane 4. 4 is like the what would you call it? The second largest circle on the whole chart. It encapsulates all the smaller circles within inside of it, and that is marked the ethereal plane or ethereal plane. And I'm going to say you're not too familiar with that. Or at least anything you want to know about, you're going to have to roll pretty, you know what I'm saying, from here on out. You're going to have to roll, and we'll see.
Yeah, I was just thinking I have spells that literally interact with it as well.
You do? Okay, so you have some
Become ethereal to the ones.
Yeah, you have some rudimentary
Yeah,
knowledge of it.
basic.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but like it's not as in depth as like say what
Nothing
I
crazy.
just said, unless you want to roll for it and just see
Gotcha.
if like at some point in time, like I said, like from here on out,
Nah.
you'll have to roll just to see what more you can glean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, Mandoc would know about the ethereal plane
Yeah.
extensively past like what he needs for his spells. Like,
Okay.
he's technically been there because one of the things just kind of splits in between it and the actual world, but like he hasn't really like studied it per se.
Right. So, based upon that, what you've seen of the ethereal plane when you've been there isn't really a whole lot. It just seemed like a giant corridor full of rooms that don't make any sense. Okay?
Huh.
You haven't really traveled it,
Interesting.
but it does. It just seems like a whole bunch of rooms that don't make sense. Stairways that go to nothing, platforms that are upside down. You know what I mean? It's it looked like, to you, it looked like a strange abstract painting.
Got you. I'm thinking of that one artist, and I think you're probably thinking of the same.
Probably. Now the largest circle, not including just the black background, which is acting like the border, right? Number 16, but number 5, that seems to be holding everything else other than 16, is called the astral plane.
Sorry, the what plane?
The astral?
Oh, okay.
And again, you may be familiar with that just because of magic and whatnot, but, you know, any deeper knowledge,
Yeah.
again, you can
really?
roll for. Okay? Yeah, so
Cool.
I'm just going to go through this, and at any time, if you want to roll for something, let me know. Okay?
Yeah.
Circle number 6 at the bottom there, the gray circle, is known as the Abyss, which everybody knows about the Abyss. It's where the demons live, so you have that much knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's also known as the Infinite, you know, the Infinite Torment, because there's no telling how deep the Abyss goes. Some people say that it's just infinity. It's just, you know, there's no levels to it. It feels like it's just an infinite amount of different places that you go to be tormented and tortured and blah blah blah, you know? And it's where the demons live.
So that's where your quill's from.
Circle 7, the very top circle, the yellow one, is known as Mount Celestia, or the Celestial Plains. Where, again, most people know about that as well. This is where, you know, this is basically heaven, you know, where the good go after they die. It's got Mount Celestia on it, where all the righteous gods sit. But, at least that's what they say. This is where all the righteous gods sit, you know? But yes, that's Mount Celestia. Number 8, the red circle at the bottom there, the dark red one, that is the 9 hells of Bator. Again, it's the 9 hells. Everybody knows about the 9 hells. That's where the devils are, you know? We know that there's 9 levels of that, at least. You know? And that's where the devils are. And the devils aren't like demons. Devils are a little bit more suave, a little bit more sophisticated. They're not just rage and incarnate like demons, you know? Number 9, the orange circle that sits under 7, that is the Beastlands. Number 10, the darker green circle up there next to 9 is known as Machinus or Machinus. Number 11 is the light gray circle is Pandemonium. And then number 16, well, okay, so now it jumps around. Now you got 11, and then you've got the elemental planes. You got 11, then 12, which is the elemental plane of water. 13 is the elemental plane of fire. 14 is the elemental plane of air. 15 is the elemental plane of Terran. And then around all of that, acting as the border of everything, they believe is a plane of existence itself, or the end of existence itself, known as the Far Realm.
Okay. So is that meant to, like, when they say everything, is that like all the planes, or is that specifically related to the elemental planes?
Number 16?
Yeah.
Are you talking about 16? Go ahead and roll me a knowledge of planes, and we'll see if you can kind of, see if at any of your studies you've come across anything talking about the far realm or the far plane.
20.
Okay, so this is a bit of a puzzle to you. While you may have heard certain names being passed around, like perhaps the astral plane or, things like that, the far realm is a strange one. Based upon your question, I will answer that. The far realm looks like it encapsulates all of the planes, as if all of the planes sit inside the far realm, or the far realm is what you get when you escape even the astral plane, if that makes any sense. But beyond that, that's a bit of a mystery to you, the far realm. You're not really familiar with that. And I know what that's doing to you, both as a character and a player right now.
Oh, yeah.
So as you study this, you are silently approached by a man who, how long he's been standing there, you cannot tell. He's not being rude or even shady necessarily about this. It is more or less out of politeness that he has not said anything or announced himself as of yet. And it's not until you manage to just pull yourself away from your own thoughts about perhaps discovering the chaos, where this realm of chaos is. Now you've got this far realm, all this other stuff. You just happen to notice that there's another presence there. He is well, I don't know why I'm acting weird about saying this. He's a black man who he's husky in build. He's not fat, but he's not skinny either. He doesn't seem like overly muscular. He's just big boned, you might say, He wears like a fine blue robe with gold patterns all over it, with white lining and just very finely dressed. He's got this like ornate hat and a dark beard and mustache. He stands there with his hands clasped and a pleasant expression, you could say, on his face. Not so much a jovial smile, but it's not sinister in any way either. He just looks pleasant. Yeah. The kind of guy who's just pleased with his own presence, you might say, he just is type of demeanor, you could say. And he
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that you. Oh, well, shoot. I'm just now seeing that. Sorry.
I mean, that's fine. It doesn't need to come up now.
Yeah, I missed all of that. Yeah. Feel free to just interject that when you know what I mean? And we'll figure it out down the line. But yeah, he's just standing there and he's looking, and when you finally notice him, he just smiles. And he says, "Oh, greetings. I am Onye. our mutual friend, Hakim, said that you needed to speak with me. I see that you are
Yes.
studying the planes.
Indeed. You were to know about, or potentially know about, a certain plane of chaos, a limbo, as I've seen it referred to.
Says Limbo. Says the name does not, offhand, the name does not ring a bell, I'll admit. However, oftentimes, the planes are kind of broken into sections. Perhaps this, and he walks over to the chart, and he says, the only plane of chaos, so that I know is pure chaos, is, and he taps down on 11, he says, the plane of pandemonium. He says, I myself have taken great pains to study the planes myself, and I'll admit some of them are still a mystery to me. He says, while you have 11 here, pandemonium, and he points at 10, he goes, you have the plane of Mechanus over here, as I've heard, or the eternal clockwork, and that is but a mystery. I could not tell you anything about it. It is very, very mysterious place. Why they call it the eternal clockworks or anything, I could not tell you. It says, but pandemonium, however, yes, that is the only plane of chaos that I know of. Do you have any more information about this limbo? I would be interested in hearing your thoughts on it.
I don't believe it to be a place of pure chaos so much. It is said to be dangerous. I have been advised against traveling there. It's strange to me that it is not charted here. I'm not sure I have that much additional information. Hence my search. Okay, can I actually roll anything to see if there's anything I missed as a player? Can I roll anything to recall?
Roll a
Or am I
knowledge
on
of
top of
roll
it,
a
so-
knowledge of history to see if you can recall exactly
Alright.
what you and Crowley spoke of when speaking about this. Because you spoke mainly to Crowley about it. That's who put you onto this in the first place.
Yeah. 37?
37. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty easy to recall the conversation. I would hope so. You just really had it. Crowley, when he was talking about it, he seemed to think that perhaps Limbo, he said perhaps maybe it's another name for pandemonium. He did mention pandemonium to you. He said, but he had heard many names for places of chaos. Limbo. Let's see, what were all those names? Because I have them. There is. Let me open up my Realms guide again because I have one. You had Limbo, the Outlands, Sigil, where he mentioned something about a lady of pain. But beyond that, that's about as you know.
Okay, I kind of give him that list of names. Yeah, and I think Manticore, rather than having Zoe said previously, yeah, add the... I've been informed it may be another name for this pandemonium, but I can't be certain. Is there any conventional wisdom that dictates there can't be more planes than are charted?
Says, well, I mean, there certainly could be. We don't know everything there is to know about the planes, for sure. You have those outsiders. He thinks about it for a minute, and he pulls out a book, right? And it's the name of the book is in a foreign language. Like you know what I mean? You don't recognize it, but he licks his thumb and begins brushing through it for a minute. He's looking at it and he says, yes. Let's see here. And let me get to it, because that's actually kind of a serious thing. He looks at it, and where is it at? Because I have this written down too. I just don't know which one it is. Oh, man. Could it be here?
Oh, yeah, Tongues doesn't let you read. Damn it.
No, I think there is a spell, though, that does. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
He looks at it and he says, yes, chapter 9. And he begins, like, flipping through it, and he goes, yes, there was a battle of gods. It says, chapter 9, verse 9. There was a battle of gods. The ancient battle between the first gods. One known as Pelor and the other Zerus. And that caused what is known as the Rift. The Age of the Rift. The Old Age, as they believe. And during that time, the rifts opened up and allowed all the planes for that one moment of coherence. And so that's where we get some of these races from that exist here now, like the Yuan Ti or the Raksasha. They were not born of the material. No, they came from different planes, they believe. And he points at the chart again. He says, yes, number 9, the Beastlands, is what they claim. He says, so we don't really know. I mean, the different planes of existence, they come, there could be several, and then you have what we call the pockets, the pocket dimensions. This limbo might be a pocket dimension that exists within one of the dimensions.
If there's no... If Play of Chaos doesn't ring any other bells for you, perhaps my best bet then is just to study this pandemonium and see if it does end up matching the descriptions I've been given so far.
Says, well, I come from the country of Ustarubu. And there, my kingdom, the kingdom of Yoruba, we have a monastery there known as the Four Seasons. And that's where I studied some of this. The Four Seasons is ran by a man known as Grandmaster Makembe Kush. And he's got a fascinating library there himself, full of... This is where I got this book, The Pantheon. And he's got all sorts of books there, and that's where I first started learning about the realms. He seems to have a very extensive library about the realms, because his 4 disciples, the Seasons as he calls them, they personally draw their abilities from the elemental planes. And he may be able to help you further. I was put under the understanding that you were able to travel here using your mysticism, as they call it around here. We don't call it mysticism where I'm from. Where I'm from, we call it the craft. But using the craft, you were able to travel here quickly. Maybe perhaps you could stop by there, and I could write you a letter of recommendation. He would remember me. Me and Makembe, we were quite good friends. So it would be nice to tell him hello again, even if it is only by note.
I could. If it will potentially help me find what I need faster, I could bring you with me. Perhaps you could be a more direct line to what I seek. We could be back within a day or two.
It says, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. If you could get me there and bring me back, that would be wonderful. A couple of days trip and what takes normally would take at least a year or maybe more to travel. That would be wonderful. And I would be fascinated to see how your craft works.
So this craft, as your people call it, the weave, the arts as I would know them, are they? How would you say it? Do you have a word for the weave, or is it a study that leads to your people's understanding of this craft, or is it something more intuitive?
Says, where I'm from, we can't move around like you do. Like I know you can. If that's what you mean. We don't have it. Our craft is mainly based upon certain places. The craft is a little bit more how you would call it, a curse. Our craft users are skilled at curses, and or they in some places in other countries there, some, like in my country of Yoruba, or even in my kingdom of Yoruba, we have people who are able to channel what we call power from our beliefs of the craft. There are those who can channel through their beliefs in the craft, if that helps at all.
Fascinating. And you think your scholars may have a more comprehensive understanding of the planes? Or at least more helpful to my particular niche?
Well, I know, for instance, that in the monastery, the Four Seasons Monastery, it's not so much a scholarly pursuit there. He's just got a library that he allows people. It's not as open as this, where we just let people come in and look. He's very Makembe is very specific about who he allows to have the knowledge, but if you can get entrance, he does have quite a bit of information about other things, about such things. Historical books that through all my travels and the different correspondences I have had, I have yet to find knowledge that I have yet to have found anywhere else but in the monastery. And that, again, that's where I first learned about some of the planes. And I think he's taking great interest in the planes just because, again, he and his seasons seem to draw their power from the elemental planes.
See. Alright. We can travel the... Oh. I might ask, out of character, how long do you think it... Like, how long do I think it would take to pass on the knowledge I wanted to give these people? Like I guess I was writing it down.
Of the weave?
Yeah.
Well...
How long would I need for that?
Just... So... That's a relative thing. You basically you could... Because you studied it from the Servants of the Unknown, right? Papa taught you all about the weave and things like that, right? That was like a thing that you learned from a child to adulthood, to grasp to its, to what you have, as far as you have. But I would say just giving them the basic philosophies, right? You're kind of treating them like children, like when you were first learning the weave yourself type of thing, right? That would take perhaps, like an hour or two, just to get the philosophy out and then make sure that they can truly comprehend the philosophy. It'd take about an hour or two just to give it to them, But beyond that, what they do with it, that's up to them, kind of, Papa was very specific in the way he wanted you to understand the weave, right? You're not going to do that with them.
Yeah.
Type of thing, You're just going to give them the philosophy, and if they can grasp it, by all means. If they can't, well, you lived up to your end of the bargain, I guess you could say. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay. I might... I'll say, spend maybe 2 or 3 hours, maybe even going a little bit more in depth, trying to really make it, as comprehensive as possible for, an overview. But, it's still within the realm of, basics. When it comes to that, but... I'll say to... oh gosh, he's been saying names of virtual places and other mixed up. It's obviously not Yoruba. What's his name again?
Who? Oh, the guy you're talking to?
Yeah,
Onye.
Yeah. Onye, okay. My next note is incompetent as me. Onye... to him, let's see... Right, I need a few hours to uphold my end of the deal I've made here. Your assistance did not come free to me, you could say. Once I'm done transcribing what I need to for this library, then we can make travel, if you will be prepared in that time.
Says, oh yeah, I understand that you're going to explain this concept of your craft or mysticism or what you called it, the arts or the weave. And I would be much honored I would be much honored to sit in that lecture as well. So, yes, by all means, I would love to sit and listen to your interpretations.
Certainly. Let us make the preparations that need to be made for that to be done then. I have much to do, and not much time.
He says, oh, of course. And so we're going to leave you to explain that. I won't have you go through all of that. When we come back to you, we'll just say that you've done your end. You know what I mean? We'll
Cool.
just say that you did what you had to do. I won't have you go through all of that unless you want to. You could play as much D&D as you like.
No.
I just didn't know if you would be really into that or not. So,
I mean, I sort of had some. I don't know. Yeah, not like a full big thing, but.
Oh well, no, go for it. Let's hear it.
No, I didn't like full prepare. I just more like I have enough that I could sort of wing it, but like no, I wouldn't. I'm fine with skipping that. I think there's other scenarios that might come up where it would be more interesting for it to be explained, like conversation with like another party member or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Hold on.
Other than that, I suppose. Is this a big? No, it only takes 1 round to cast. Okay. I guess I'll use. I can do that anytime, actually. Oh, good. Yeah, after. I suppose after Anya goes off to sort of pass on that Mandok's ready to get that lesson, sort of
Yeah.
I also have to rub his head a bit as he kind of thinks about the name of that book the guy was holding, and
Oh, the book he's holding?
yeah, and then just
Yeah.
just another headache.
Yeah, he keeps that book, like he holds on to that book. He never puts that book up. Like he just kind of, you know what I mean? And
Oh yeah, it was just when he mentioned the name, and I was like, what is this? Hang on.
yeah, you can roll a knowledge of history if you want to see if that name, the Pantheon, rings a bell.
No, I think I'll just say he vaguely. Yeah, it feels familiar. Doesn't know why.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And so we're gonna jump over to Otis now. So we're gonna try and get everybody in one more time before we call it a night. Because I know Otis has got to work in the morning, and so we will try not to keep him up all night. I understand if he plays and then he's got to scoot to go to bed, but
certainly
we will get him in one more time. If he's awake. You still with us, Otis? He might have crashed out. Otis?
If that's the case, it'd be a good time to just call it.
Yeah, we might have to. Otis? I'll message him and just see if he's with us. And if not, we'll just call it. I mean, it was a pretty decent session.
For sure. If you can hear this, you are muted, by the way, Otis.
Do what?
I doubt that's it, but just in case. I was just saying in case Otis was here that he was muted. Because we've all done that.
Yes. Yes, we have.
Oh, we all do that constantly.
I've never done it, for sure.
I've never done it to myself, but I've muted other people
not
before.
mine.
Yeah,
You've done it to other.
I have muted.
I think
other
you
people
have
before.
actually, but yeah.
Yeah, quick capping.
I've never muted myself by accident. I've muted other people by accident. They're like, why aren't they talking? And then they're like, because remember I did that to dragons a while back, not too long ago.
That's what it was considerably was.
Yeah, and
We
I was
do
like,
that
why
to
is he
players
not?
bad, but
Yeah,
quick capping.
I don't do it to myself. I hardly ever mute myself. Okay,
I'm just being a
yeah,
douche.
no, I know, but what I'm saying is, honestly, it sounds more douchey for me to be like, I never mute myself. Are you kidding? But
No, I'm just
but yeah, it does not sound like he is. Does not sound like he's with us. All right, well, we'll just call it for tonight. Let's just do that. He couldn't help it. He had to. I understand. He just got off work too, so
yeah, it'd be like that.
yeah. That's all
At
right.
least he's not like me and
Sure,
falls
sure.
asleep at the beginning of a session.
No kidding.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, right? What a douche.
Tragic when that happens.
What a turd. But with that said, though, okay, so this is where we find ourselves. Otis is on his way to, he's skirting around the Undying Hunger cult to get to the High Vein. Android, you are headed home to prepare for tonight's ceremony of the Lord and Ladies Gala. Agargus, you are still making potions. You are still making potions, but eventually you're gonna get to your little conflict with the Bajan. And somehow Agargus is causing Android stress, and he does not know that it's Agargus doing it. But
This ain't real life.
it's just like real life.
Right.
Yeah. This is the second party member you have literally
Just draining my life force right now.
And then there is and Mindoc, who is about to travel to yet another continent. Mindoc is quite the globetrotter. It's kind of fun though, because I'm getting to showcase all the different cultures, so it's fun. But yeah, I want to thank you guys, them old school gamers, for letting me DM yet another session. I know it doesn't seem like we do a lot in these sessions, but eventually we're gonna get there. So, yeah,
What you call a slow burn right here.
it is a slow burn right now. It is a slow burn, but
Yes.
we're building up to something, so we're gonna get there. I want to thank the Golden Wonders out there, our audience who tune in and watch. We appreciate it. Again, it fluctuates. Sometimes we don't get a lot of viewers, and then sometimes we get a whole bunch of viewers. So, I don't really know what YouTube is doing, but for those of you who tune in on a regular basis, I want to thank y'all. And for those of you who are new, I want to thank y'all. And yeah, y'all stay golden. Come back now. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
That's
Ha